Alright guys, so you want to know what tires to put on your Supra. But unfortunately today, this is my third set of tires, I should say. I'm not stock, but if you are stock, this is definitely going to be a good video for you to understand how fitment works in offset, especially for the Supra, because I've been getting a lot of messages about people asking me what my tire sizes are, what my rim sizes are. So let's get into it. Pick that tire up a little bit. All right. It is a hot one, y'all. Today is a hot one. Today we're gonna be putting on the 305/35 Nitto NT555 R2s. I have currently NT05Rs on my car. I had them on for about a year and a half, and now it is time to upgrade. They've been on for a while, and I'm honestly surprised that they have lasted that long. When I was stock, I had the stock tires on, and I used to hate the fitment of the stock Supra. It was cool at first when you first get the car, you're all excited about it, but guys, you definitely need to get some type of spacers on the stock wheels. We're gonna cover a little bit more of that, but I have to get to the tire shop so we can put these tires on the car. Pretty unusual sighting. Not gonna lie guys, I'm pretty excited about this because these tires are actually the original tires I wanted before I had the Nitto NT05Rs. And the only reason I got the 05Rs is because these were on back order, and I think the price was a little bit higher. These tires each cost about $408. So they came out to like 8 and change. I looked all over, they were on back order. I ended up going a discount tire, and literally I found a set of 4, but I only needed 2, and they were in Virginia. So I'm grateful that I have a set of tires. I'd rather have that than have them on back order and have to wait months. All right guys, so we just got to 631 Tire. What's up, bro? Yeah, I'm trying to get my tires put on. So, yeah, they're in the car. All right. So 240 pulling out of there. Sick, bro. Look at that. Oof. Done. Whoa, now I can actually take the traction control off. Huge shout out to 631 Tire. Everyone in there is super cool. The guy who was actually working on my car actually followed me. It's weird because he said he knew I was Salvadorian, and I was like, wait, what? I was like, nobody knows that. It was super cool. I love going there, and that's the only place I really get my tires mounted at, just because they're so funny in there, they're so chill. Like, normally when you go into certain shops, they're very anal about where you are able to film and do things, but they're so cool there. If you guys are on Long Island, make sure you guys go to 631 Tire and show them some love, because those guys work their asses off. You definitely deserve the business. Oh, woo. It's kind of rubbing on the way back. These are pretty bubbly tires. This is one of the downsides to running a bigger tire when you're super low. Is that so much a big deal? Eventually the tire wears out to where it doesn't rub anymore. When I first put the other Nitto NT05Rs on, it was rubbing for about, I would say, a week, and then it kind of wore off. For those of you who are on stock fitment, you just got a Supra, you're probably running 9 in the front, 10 in the back. My wheels, 9.5 in the front, 10.5 in the back, which means that these are 1/2 inch wider. So offset is basically the relationship between the center line of the wheels with the back mounting hub of the wheel itself. So the stock fitment on the Supra is 40 in the back and I think 32 in the front. If you guys want to keep your stock wheels on the Supra, I highly recommend getting spacers. And if you're gonna do spacers, I would say probably do a 15mm spacer in the front and an 18mm spacer in the back. And that will give you a pretty flush fitment, similar to what I have. And then if you wanna go for a more bubbly look in the tire, you can do that. You can run a 305/35 like I am. You'll get more of that kind of like aggressive kind of stance to your car. Offset is really simple. It's just basically shifting the wheel out from the car. So normally with an offset of like negative or even an offset of 0, you'd probably see that on like a wide body car. This is probably like ABC kind of information. If you have a wide body kit, you're extending the body of the car and making it wider. You would have to get the wheel to come further away from the car. So in order to do that, you'd have to have a lower offset, something more closer to 0 or negative. You would probably want to run a wider tire. Instead of doing a 10.5, you'd probably be somewhere around a 12-inch wide tire with a negative offset. That is basically the idea of how offset would work in order to have a more aggressive stance look on your Supra. So remember, negative offset just means you're basically taking the wheel and pushing it away further from the car. So if you have the offset of 40 and you go down to 30, you're technically going away from the car because you're going more towards 0, which is basically pushing the wheel out from the car. With Supras, most wheels are gonna be around 20 to 35 offset, in that range. If you have a stock Fitment Supra, you wanna make sure that you're not just putting tires on the car thinking that it's gonna give you a flush look. I definitely recommend getting spacers. Without a doubt, that's the first thing you need to do is get spacers. This car does not look good with the stock Fitment. If you guys are getting aftermarket wheels, you wanna run a slimmer tire so you can go lower, I would probably recommend a 305/30 instead of a 305/35. I like a more track and functional setup. That's just my style. So a lot of this stuff has to do with your styling on how you decide to build your car. I don't like to have flashy shit on my car. Like, it is loud enough already, it gets me in trouble enough. I don't need to have like $20,000 rims on my car. It's not my style. You see how there's this gap here? So what I can do technically is add a spacer because the wheels are already made to what they are. If you guys do get your wheels and they're aftermarket and they don't fit how you want them to, you can still add spacers. You won't add a 15mm spacer because if you have to add a big spacer on aftermarket wheels, then it's either you f***ed up or the company f***ed up by sending you the wrong specs. You shouldn't have to put spacers on after you get these wheels custom made for your car. The whole point is so they fit how you want them to. I'll probably run a spacer, but the problem is when you turn the wheel, I might rub in here because of the size of the tire. I'm not a fan of having a stretched tire because comfort in your ride. Like, I like a bigger tire because I like to have a smooth, comfortable ride. Having a low profile tire in New York is not a good idea. These are 265, 35. I think I had a 275. I have spacers for this. I think they're like 2mm spacers. If you guys are adding spacers, 25, I think it's 25mm equals 1 inch. Millimeter is not as big as you think it is. And then if you want to run a bigger tire setup, you can do that because then you'll sit more flush. If you guys have any questions, I recommend you guys drop them down below in the comments. And I do appreciate those who have been DMing me or who have seen me at car shows and mentioned to me that they got the car because of me. Really do appreciate all you guys for supporting and watching the channel. And I'm still learning, guys. So you never stop learning when it comes to this, and just remain humble the whole time. Don't think you know everything. There's a lot of know-it-alls in the car community. I just like to build my car, enjoy it, film it for you guys so you guys can get the education you guys need. Until next time, guys, make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.